Kilo Golf Zero Uniform Hotel. Kilo Golf Zero Uniform Hotel.
Zero Uniform Hotel. This is KC9VKV. What's the name there?
The name is Dick, Delta India Charlie Kilo.
Roger, Dick. Strange. Your signal is just dumping down real quick. It's just it's not even a fade down. It's just almost like a switch. So why don't you give me 10 seconds about your antenna system, and let me look at your audio. You're a good 15 over on my local antenna, so you have a great signal. Just give me 10 or 15 seconds, and let me listen to your audio.
Okay, Jim. I turned the amplifier off. It was showing high SWR, so I turned it off, and I've got a Yaesu FTDX-3000. It's a new radio. It's a couple months old, but I haven't done any transmit audio modifications at all to it, and I'm using a Heil GM6 microphone.
Roger, Roger. Could that have been what was clicking in and out there when we were talking?
Yes, that was it.
Roger, because I was thinking, beautiful signal, then it went way down, and it wasn't like a fade down, it was like a click down, so I knew there was something going on. All right, so I don't have as good a copy on you now as I did with the box on, obviously, but we do need to fatten your signal a little bit if you would be interested.
Okay, and I'm looking at all my menus, and it talks about TX audio and equalizer 1, frequency, and then level, then BWTH and frequency, so I'm unfamiliar with these.
Alrighty, again, what was the radio you're running?
Yaesu FTDX-3000.
FTDX-3000. Okay, the first thing is to get that compressor going at a 3. Engage your compressor, and we only want a third of it. So if it's a 0 to 10, put it on a 3. If it's 0 to 100 or 30, or if it's just a rotary control, we want to do like about 10 or 1030. Roger?
Okay, I've heard you talk about the compressor, but I don't have a clue where the compressor is on this radio.
Well, now, see, there you go. All right, take notes. When you find out where your compressor is, engage it, turn it on, and adjust it for a 3. We only want a third of its possibilities. So if it's, if it's 0 to 10, we want it on a 3. If it's a 0 to 100, we want it on 30. If it's just a rotary control, we want it on about 10 or so. Roger?
Okay, so you're not talking about mic gain, are you?
No, I'm talking about compressor. I'm talking about the input level to your compressor. Roger?
Okay, and I've looked for that on my in my manual, and I do not see that.
Roger, well, it'll come to you. It'll come to you. You know, the thing I noticed, and it's so ridiculous, that I've downloaded a few operator manuals, PDFs, and they do not have a content list, and that's the stupidest thing that I know of, for it's like a book, and that you need to refer to certain parts, and without a contents list, it's all BS, because it just takes you forever to find anything. Roger?
I have external amp tuning power, 100 watts, I have transmit power, I've got equalizer levels, all sorts of things.
All right, now let's just work take a note that you want to engage, at a later date when you find out where it is, you want to engage your compressor at a 3, okay? Now, following that, we want to go to your ALC meter, and with your mic gain in hand, and you speaking naturally, normally into your microphone, I want you to adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Yeah, I heard you say that to a couple other gentlemen as well, so I've written that down.
Okay, so we are now going to set that at mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, ALC now is bringing it down. Right now it's okay about, I'll keep going down. Mic gain in the ALC is at about a 6 or 7.
I don't know exactly the reference to 6 or 7. What I'm saying is you've got to talk. You can't just say a word like that and get a reading of a meter. You have to speak fairly quickly so the meter kind of stays up there so you can see what you're looking at. So I suggest that you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that, and adjust your ALC meter for mid-scale to 2/3 by you speaking naturally, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and adjusting your mic level control until that ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, I'll do that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Alrighty, so it's now running mid-scale to 2/3?
Yes, it's running from 5 to 7.
Okay. The thing is also that you need to stay on axis to your microphone. I've noticed a few times I think you've turned your head away from your mic, and your top end syllabic range and your articulation suffers drastically when you're not on axis to that microphone. So you need to pay particular attention to staying on that microphone proper. Roger?
Okay, I'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Roger, Roger. Now, I don't necessarily mean proximity to microphone. I'm just talking about you facing the microphone with your mouth. And now you might be, the range. I usually suggest somewhere around 4 inches. Because the thing is, if you get further off mic and you bring your mic gain up to properly run the ALC meter, then you might start bringing in room noise. The further away from the microphone you are, the more inclined the microphone is to pick up room noise. Since our shacks are not necessarily like soundproof studios, so I've found anywhere from 3 to 4 inches is close enough that usually the voice will override any reverberation of the room naturally. Roger?
Okay, got it. I'm usually a little bit farther away from that, usually 6 inches or so. So I'm around 4 inches right now, and I'm staying, right now it's a little bit higher, so I'm going to bring it down to mic gain right at between 5 and 7 now, being closer to the mic.
Roger, Roger. Like I say, the actual volume of the microphone, as far as numbers of the microphone gain control, are fairly unimportant. It's how that mic gain affects your ALC that's the important thing. So I just look. I don't even look at the level of the mic itself. I'm looking precisely at the ALC meter and wanting to adjust that from mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
Okay, I got it. I will look for a compressor in this particular radio, and I will bring it up to 3, and maybe we can get on a later date and see how I sound. Now, since I brought the mic gain, I know you don't look at that number, but I've actually brought it from 25 down to 15. Did that improve the sound, or where is it, Jim?
Well, it's not quite 3 dB, but that's why I'm saying you really need that compressor at a 3 to give you a 3 dB dynamic range. It's almost impossible to get it because you have to, if you tried to get 3 dB dynamic range without the compressor, you're going to have to force the limiter that the ALC meter is looking at too hard, and you'll get some distortion. So the best thing to do is just run like you are until you can look in the book and find your compressor. Set your compressor at a 3, a third of its capabilities, and then once you do that, go back to your ALC and check again again that you're still mid-scale to 2/3. Anytime you make a modification to your audio line, like inserting the compressor or changing microphones, you always want to go back to your ALC to verify that your level is mid-scale to 2/3, because just changing microphones, all microphones are not equal, and some have more output than others, or some less than others. So you have to, when you switch mics, go back to your ALC to be sure you're still in good shape mid-scale to 2/3.
Perfect, Jim. I do appreciate it very much, and I'll do some studying and make these changes. So thanks for all the help you're doing for all the people, because we don't know how we sound, and hopefully I'll be able to make contact with you again. So 73, Jim, and KG0UH.
Roger, the name there was Dick, is that it, Roger?
That is correct. And if you're looking my location, a lot of times I get that I'm still in California, and I'm not. I'm in Olathe, Kansas. Olathe, Kansas.
Alrighty, copy you in Kansas. We usually don't go west. I mean, obviously we do, but normally, we're working pretty much the East Coast. From when we were building the station, we said we wanted to do 20 over from Montreal to Miami, with a hotspot through the Carolinas, and pretty much that's the way it's turned out to be. So we're not working a bunch west, but gosh, we're glad to have you aboard, Roger.
Well, I'm glad you're there. You helped me out, so I appreciate it. So 73 again, Jim, KC9VKV.
Roger, Roger. And if you want to check out your audio on this recording, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the date 9/18/20, that will take you directly to this recording. And we'll say threes for now. Catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.